New York, for me, was my liberation. Yeah.
Where did you come from? Why do you say that?
I was raised in a little town in the northern part of West Virginia. 30,000 people. And I never really ever related to any of them. Oh well, yes, there were two people. But mostly I just thought these people were very dull and had no idea of a better life. But they loved their lives. They loved their lives. But when I was about 15, I had already seen so many fashion magazines that I said to myself, I can do that. That'll be good. I can do that. I'll go to New York and I'll be a model. So when I graduated from high school, my brother, who was in the Navy, sent me $500. I jumped on the next train and went to New York.
Sorry.
When I got to Penn Station and I walked into that huge atrium and I looked up and I said, I'm home.
That's great.
I am home. Oh my God. Within, I would say, a month, I was modeling. I stayed in New York and I modeled in New York for the next 20 years. I never had so much fun in my life. Oh, I loved them. I lived in a girls' hotel, female hotel. Oh, but it was wonderful. It was wonderful. Everybody was doing something, you see. I came from this sleepy town where nobody did anything. And these people were running and then prancing and they were doing and they had attitude. Oh, God, it was great. It was exhilarating. I was 18 years old and I was the baby in the hotel. All these girls were in advertising. They were actors. They were this, that, or the other. But they were doing things, you see. And that was very exciting to me. And they loved me and I loved them. And then, of course, 1944, there was this insurge of all these glorious, glorious Army men. Oh, God. They were all over the place. And we, in our hotel, gave a dance every Saturday night. So the Army and the Navy and whoever came in. But it was so glamorous. I mean, nobody could say, listen, this was really wild because we didn't even know there was a war. We could hardly even think there was a war because these guys were all over the place and they were, oh my God, can you imagine? These uniforms. And everybody who had a house on Fifth Avenue or any other place opened their house. These boys had open house. They could go anywhere. The doors were open. There was a party every night. And of course I was modeling and what was I? I was a little 18-year-old girl. I was just entranced with everything. And then along came my husband, who seemed to know exactly what he wanted. He was a lieutenant in the Army, and they had given him a huge job. He had the job of
reconstituting the big machines.
Rehabilitating, or whatever you call it. The big machines in the Army, and there were these manufacturers that he worked with, and he was 24 years old and he knew exactly what he was doing. He knew, I mean, he was just bossing these people around. He knew what he was doing. And so when he met me, he knew what he was doing. I had only dated very sweet, upper class guys who really were kind of not developed. And then along came this guy.
And along came Bob.
Who seemed to know everything about everything.
And you married him.
He swept me along. And
how many years were you married?
15.
15.
15 years.
And how many kids?
One.
One child. And how old are you now?
My child?
No, you.
82.
82.
But you see, I wasn't crazy about having a child. What interested me was this guy had these fantastic, what do you call it? Attitudes.
Perspective.
And I had never seen anyone, a boy that young. He was only 24. I was 19. But he seemed to know everything about everything. And I thought, okay, I was a very smart-ass kid. And I thought, well, if I keep living alone, I'll be alone. But this guy wants to get married. Oh, how he wanted to get married. And I thought, this is interesting, you know?
Yeah.
His genes with my genes. And I married him.
And you married him.
Yeah.